Hello, this is JP Hrisoulas, the cranky old bastard, doing a follow-up to my failure video. As I said in my other video, I screwed the pooch on this, and it cracked. So, after looking at the pieces under magnification, I'm pretty sure I know what I did wrong. I got it too hot in heat treat. When you look here, you can see the darker area running from the edge into the center of the blade. That's from the oil in the quench. Heat treated a little bit too high, I think. You gotta remember, this is 1.5% carbon in this steel by my melt specs, which is about 50 points more carbon than most high carbon steels use. You start getting into your really high speed steels, your air hardening steels, your specialty steels, when you get above 1%. 1% is usually the cutoff limit for most carbon tool steels, and there's a reason for that. 1095, 95 points carbon. 1084, 84 points carbon. 5160, 60 points carbon. 5150, 50 points carbon. 1060, 60 points carbon. 1070, 70 points carbon. 1080, 80 points carbon. Plowshare steels, 1060, 60 points carbon. It's all in that range between 60 and 80 to 100 points carbon, which is from 0.6 to 1%. So it gets to be weird when you start talking about heat treat. So, looking what I'm looking at, I could see when I was, like I said before, when I was grinding this, everything was well and good. The blade was tempered. I'm doing the the final grind here. I noticed, like I said before, the little black line, and I flipped it over, and the little black line was on the other side, and the ground got longer and longer and longer and longer and longer into the fuller, into the bottom of the fuller, and just about to the very top of the fuller here, I stopped. And I'm looking at this, and I'm saying, it's not good. I was feeling really bad. I had that ache in the pit of your stomach, and you just screwed up a whole bunch of work. So I sat down, looked at it, pondered things, flexed a little bit. Like I said, it popped, and that's what happened with this. So, after dusting myself off, picking myself up, feeling sorry for myself for about a couple hours, wondering how could I be so stupid, I decided to go out and correct this. So, I went and forged this one. This is wootz, another big one. This is, let's hurry here now, here's mild steel. I welded on a tang here. I can't see wearing that, wasting that much material on something you can see. And so I still got to put in the fullers, do the edge bevels, drill the holes for the pins, heat treat, temper it, grind it, polish it, mount it, etch it, and it's done. That's not so bad. To address failure is one thing. To let it beat you is something entirely different. You can't let this stuff get you down. If you have to set it away for a while, go do something else, do it, but come back to it. You can't walk away from a failure and just throw up your hands and say never again, because that's giving up, and that's no way to do anything. You're not going to get any better. You're not going to achieve anything if you do that. You don't quit. You might want to take a break from it. I've been known to do that, especially when I was first starting out with pattern welding. I would have a run of successes, and then all of a sudden 2, 3, 4 failures in a row, boom, boom, boom. And I would just put it away and go back to using high carbon steel for a while, come back, pick it up, think things out, and get back to it. You can't stop doing this if you want to succeed in anything, especially in bladesmithing. It's an art. People say it's a science. Well, it's a little bit of science, but it's a lot of art. There's so many variables. Everybody works differently. Everybody has their own idea what colors are as far as color ranges. What some people might think is a full cherry might be a light cherry to somebody else. It might be a dark cherry to the other person here. It all depends on your working conditions and your own eyesight and your own interpretations of this. This is why it's so important to find somebody to learn from. Books are fine, videos are fine, but if you really want to learn this craft, Don't do what I did and do it all on your own. I had one really great mentor in Herr Hoffman, but he was a blacksmith and he taught me a lot of metalworking, and not so much on heat treating and nothing on swords. A few knives he let me make, but nothing swords or anything bigger than, let's say, a 10-inch kitchen knife. That was about it. Made some hunting knives, sharpened a lot of chisels, made a lot of chisels, mortise chisels, tenon chisels, all this other stuff for the Amish, and that's a good basis because there's a lot of blacksmithing and bladesmithing. And if you're a decent blacksmith, you can be a decent bladesmith if you want to take that transition over. Now, not all bladesmiths can be blacksmiths because there's a lot of techniques in bladesmithing that really you don't cover much in blacksmithing, whereas a lot of blacksmithing techniques can be applied to bladesmithing. And it's just amazing what you can do if you have a blacksmithing background. But you can't let this beat you, as I said before. You got to come back to it, pick it up, look at it with different eyes, sleep on it a couple of days, think about it, do some research, and look at it again from a different point of view. Because if you give up, it beats you, and that's no way to go around anything. You need to be able to roll with it, learn from it. That's the important part. Keep notes. When you first start doing this, keep notes. I have so many notes on working wootz, it's not even funny. I do the same thing when I do the pattern welding. When I first started this 50 years ago, there was no really custom knife industry. You had, like, you know, Bob Loveless, he was doing custom knives. Bo Hickory, he was doing pattern welding. John Ashley was doing pattern welding. Bill Moran, I didn't know who he was until, like, I was doing this for 5 or 6 years. Like I said, I did my first pattern welding knife in 1971 or 72 at the school metal shop. My metal shop teacher thought it was neat. I was actually doing forge welding. He thought it was the bee's knees, but I couldn't make the knife in there yet. I could do the steel, but I couldn't make the knife. And they had no fun at the school. But I was doing this. I was pretty much doing it all by myself. I was reading everything I could get. A lot of the stuff was not reliable information, but I did manage to glean enough information there to where I actually got a good forge weld, and the rest is history. I stumbled around a lot, made a whole bunch of mistakes, did a whole bunch of stupid things, but when you don't know, you don't know, and if you don't know it, you don't know it. That makes sense? Yeah, I guess it did. But I had nobody to teach me, because when I did manage to get to a couple of these knife and gun shows, and nobody would talk to a 16-year-old kid. Went in the service at 17 and a half. Went all over the world. I would go into the local areas if I could and talk to the excuse me, blacksmiths in the area if they would talk to me. And I learned a lot from them, got a whole bunch of ideas. Came back, got a service, became a Fed, doing knives for a while. Decided to go full-time after I had a couple of unfortunate things at work. Joined the Guard. In the meantime, so I was part-time soldier, full-time knife maker. And wrote those books. The first book was written to just basically get everything out of my head I could to help people out. It has been a very successful book, and I'm pretty sure I helped out a lot of folks. But here again, if you can find somebody to actually walk you through it one-on-one, that's the best way. I'm available if anybody has any questions. I have no problem answering if you call me after my business hours in the evening, Florida time. I'll probably talk to you, see what I can do to help you. I might have the answer, I might not. Nobody knows it all. Hopefully I get somebody that has a question that really gets me thinking, because I like those. But you got to keep on it. You got to go with the flow. You can't let it beat you. Like I said, if you got to take a break from it, you take a break from it. Do something else, but you come back to it and you beat it. I'm going to finish this one up here. Go out there and work on this here in a few minutes. And hopefully this one won't crack after when I heat treat it tomorrow. So thank you so much. That's it for today. May the wise Lord bless and keep you all. Please hit the like button if you can. Please hit the subscribe button if you can. I'm still trying to figure out how to get my videos notified, get more notice on YouTube about my videos. I have no idea how to do that, but I'm doing some research. I got to figure it out. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.